Donald Trump is about to make the name Howard Lutnick a household name. Because if you don't know who that jerk is, he's the Secretary of Commerce in Trump's cabinet. And in this breaking story, you cannot believe the absolute disconnect, arrogance, and dismissal of the millions and millions of Americans that rely and have earned their Social Security. This isn't just some narrative and talking point. This is an incredibly serious moment and an incredibly serious subject in this breaking story. I'm going to show you in just a few seconds. But listen to what's great is we the people, a solid individual citizen, a elected official screaming, and the absolute jerk comment that the Secretary of Commerce of the United States of America said, sitting and chatting with protected folks over at Fox. Before I show you the breaking story, take a listen to this.
Social Security. It stated seniors won't complain if they miss a Social Security check, stated Secretary Lutnick, Howard Lutnick, who is a billionaire.
The people will win over Howard Lutnick.
My grandmother received a monthly benefit. She was a disabled widow, and it helped us pay the bills. It kept a roof over our head. It kept food on the table.
And we need to remind people that we didn't vote for Elon Musk to call Social Security a Ponzi scheme.
That's right.
Now, Secretary Lutnick just said that the only people who would miss a payment and would worry about it were the fraudsters. I'm here to tell you, Secretary Lutnick, that my grandmother was no fraudster.
And we didn't vote for Howard Lutnick to say, oh, don't worry, no elderly people, including my mother, would care if they don't get their checks for Social Security.
Shame!
She was our caregiver. She loved us, and she expected that benefit every single month to ensure that we could just simply survive.
Let's say Social Security didn't send out their checks this month. My mother-in-law, who's 94, she wouldn't call and complain. She just wouldn't. She'd think something got messed up, and she'll get it next month.
Yeah.
A fraudster always makes the loudest noise, screaming, yelling, and complaining.
And so for you to say that, these individuals will be fraudsters if they missed the payment is just ridiculous and also shameful. Shame on you, Secretary Lutnick, and shame on Donald Trump.
Yeah, I agree with that man. Shame on you, Howard Lutnick, and shame on you, Donald Trump. But the man who lost his mind in this breaking story is the former RNC chairman, Michael Steele, who just flipped out. Here is his reaction. Take a listen.
So your mama would call you. She would call you, and guess what you would do? You'd write her a check. But what about the mother who doesn't have someone that they can call to put money in that bank account for a month? You insensitive lug. How dare you? How dare you?
$2 and $4 billion.
$4 billion. Yeah, your mama's not going to worry, because if you're any kind of a decent son, you're going to cover that month. But there are a lot of mothers out there who don't have that. How dare you?
Well, that's his mother-in-law.
You can miss a month. You be okay. Take your ass into a community where they don't have those resources available to them. How dare you? I mean, this is the arrogance right now in America. This is the arrogance. They're looking you in the eye and say, you can miss your payments. You'll be okay. You can feed your family with no money. You can clothe your family with no money for a month. You can do that. You arrogant SOB. $4 billion sitting there telling America you can miss a payment? My daddy's on Social Security. What is he going to do? He's going to come to me if he misses the payment, because he's got a resource. He's got a son who can help him. He's got a daughter who can help him. But their families don't have people who can help them.
Thus far, while I'm not a monster Michael Steele fan, you do have some people who actually were somewhat intelligent conservatives, even if you disagreed with conservative policies when Michael Steele was involved in elected politics and then became the RNC chairman. He even considered, running for president. Whether you like Michael Steele or not, The problem is more GOP people across the country, more current elected GOP senators and House members, more conservatives in general don't sound like Michael Steele. They're not screaming and yelling at the absurdity of what Trump and Musk are doing. Disruption, seeking to, root out waste, fraud, and abuse is one thing. Trying to destroy and privatize Social Security, whole other subject. But yet the arrogance in this story of Howard Lutnick and just, my mom would be fine if she missed a check, no big deal, stated by a billionaire. What they want to achieve, you guys, is the Roman Empire. We have it all, you guys just slave for us. That's not the 1% to 99%, that's the 0.2% versus 99.8. That's what they want. So to that end, stay frosty.